good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Guys, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer. My god, this show, guys. Ever since it was announced and I saw trailers about it, I have been anticipating just what the heck was actually gonna pop off and give us, like certain aspects of the show being either ridiculously crazy or just having some, you know, dope fights and stuff like that would be enough for me. But of course, excuse me, but of course we get a little bit of all of that. We get great fights, great character development, the fact that, you know, there's someone so pretty much ignorant to certain aspects of why people do things for others is another like very charming part of the Boar's character that I didn't really care for him that much, but you can't really be mad at somebody who has no type of training or like understanding of what's polite, what's rude, and all that stuff. So can't really hold it against him. Uh, he was raised in the forest, so it only makes sense that he has somewhat of a hard understanding of why humans do certain things humans do, seeing how he puts himself more in the category as like a bull or something, or like as the animal that he is. That's just kind of where he stands on the whole grand scheme of things. I can't block that. Unblockable. But yeah, it's nice to see him growing, like his character growing on me. I think the funniest thing was seeing our electric guy actually kind of beating himself up a little bit over not being, um, or not beating himself up, but he's kind of like disappointed in the people that he's been with all this time simply because they didn't even ask him to, go into this cave, this mountain that's seemingly dangerous and ominous to him, and instead they ran on their merry way, which he needs to understand. He's hanging out with a boar who literally just was running all over the place regardless of what was happening, and then two, he's hanging out with another man who, if he smells any type of danger or someone who may be human, being attacked by a demon, he's going to be there for that person. So these are just the traits that he's going to have to put up with, and because of that, it's clear to me that he just doesn't know what he's got himself into yet. Like, sure, he probably did want to ask for help and bring him in there, but what do you look like asking help from a guy who already has decided to not help, you know? So it was a situation where he's mad about something that pretty much he put himself in the situation to be left. I mean, there's people you literally got sent on a mission, and the first thing he does once he gets close to the destination is stop going towards the mission, and that's not how our main character flows. That's not how he does things. So as I'm watching this show, I already knew he's running in head first. I just didn't expect the lightning guy to run in. And I think that's why the show is doing such a well job of portraying the characters because, like I said, I didn't expect him to go in there, including after finding out what he knows about the place or like that it feels ominous and stuff like that. So why would he then go into the place if he doesn't even really like, you know, going in anywhere in the first place? So it was interesting to see how all this played out, but to think that there's these spiders that pretty much can control all of your like human movements and stuff like that is pretty intimidating when it comes down to it seems like there's multiple people in this place, kind of egging on or assisting, if you will, in this like full on control that we're seeing. We see the guy who's talking about his family and whatnot show up, and it looks like he can do something that he just hasn't shown us yet with how he was pulling out the webs on his hands and reaching to the skies. I kind of got a feeling he might just like cocoon the whole entire place, right? He might just put everything that is there into like make it a spider web so you can't escape or something along those lines. But I can't tell if the one who's actually controlling the spiders is Mother or if that's still just somebody, who's second rate to the Mother. And I think we'll only know as soon as, the episode starts fleshing it out. But from what I can tell, it looks like there's three separate demons in here. And that would be a good, like, convenient reason for all three of them to have moments and to show us something that they could do, right? So I'm really interested to see if that is where they're going with this. Our boar guy pretty much showed us one of his breathing techniques, which, interesting enough, I thought all the demon slayers would have that, like even the basic ones, like they would have some type of breathing technique. But it looks like it's only for the people who could probably make it up the ranks, right? Like it looks like it can only be for the people that we see who are not hiding, but who were sitting behind the guy before they were going out on this mission and finding out that all of the Slayers were absolutely like slaughtered and stuff like that. He's sending out much higher ranked Demon Slayers to deal with it, which gives me the super feeling, like it's a feeling in my bones that we, as in our three characters, are going to probably fail, right? Um, Either that or they're going to send them out and it's going to be a waste of time because our people are going to have it finished or something along those lines. So that's kind of where I see all this going. I'm not really sure if they're going to like allow this thing to draw out for more time. You see how tired the bird was after it had to go from there back to report what happened to all the slayers. So it seems like there's a pretty good distance between it if a bird can actually be tired, unless the bird was just tired more because it was panicking and flying. I can understand that, but if not, and it was just flying at full speed, trying to get back as quickly as possible, then yeah, we probably got some trouble, right? Probably got a lot of trouble. And I'm just interested to see how they pretty much sum up any of this overall like madness that's going on when it comes down to when it comes down to the overall fact that we have seen quite a few characters already, um, like the Slayers show that like they're just not good at what they do. Um, because of that, a lot of them get absolutely bodied quickly. And to think that they're on like the same level as these 10 slayers that gone into the forest and they were manipulated so quickly and they didn't even raise their swords to one another until it was freaking too late and there was a sword in their body already. They just, I don't know, they made them really feel like they don't have any business being here. So that was a weird like situation to see that all these demon slayers that they have are still relatively like so green that they don't even defend themselves when clearly you've been called out for a mission. Your teammate turns around and starts pulling out his sword and attacking, and you see people getting hit, and you still don't pull out your sword until, however long. So it's just one of those moments where they're either trying to make the character seem really, really, really dumb, or they just want to show you that because they follow the code to such a religious, like means to even pull out a weapon on another demon slayer is taboo, and if someone does that to you, you should be ready to extinguish that taboo. I don't know, man. I just feel like if someone pulled out any type of weapon towards me and then slowly started walking towards me, I'm not gonna just not defend myself, right? Like that just seems like they made that character, or they made these characters just not intelligent enough to be like, hey, I'm a demon slayer and this guy's a demon slayer too. He could probably kill me, and he's walking at me with his weapon, so I'm gonna have to protect myself. Nah, I'm just gonna let him cut me. He has all the right to. Like, what the heck, man? So that kind of bugged me. It's just how idiotic they seemingly like made these characters to be able to, like, you're sending out these people who can't even defend themselves against a sword, let alone some demon that could be a number, right? So yeah, that was pretty shocking in my opinion to see just how not clueless, but how unprepared seemingly they were for this whole entire battle. There's no reason these 10 slayers should have been brought up here, seeing how they're so trash. But at the same time, it's not like they know 110% that a number demon was up there. I believe so, or maybe they did and they still sent them. Who knows? That's kind of the other fun part about this show is we know nothing about the Slayer Corporation, right? Like no one's actually giving us a reason to not believe that they're the good people. You know, we have reason to believe that they're trying to help, but sometimes this is the things that are supposed to be the easy things to, fall back on and be like, okay, this means the core must be good because they take out the bad. Like those are the easy things to try to fall back on, and, like with your own knowledge and stuff. But sometimes stories don't necessarily always work out that way. Sometimes there is someone who could be in the bad team on our side, literally just waiting for a perfect opportunity. So we now have to see what transpires altogether, but I have a good feeling that we're going to see those guys who are much, much higher ranked showing up, and I just feel like our people probably aren't going to handle this. Like they're not going to be able to complete this task by themselves, I feel like. That's just me though. Because you don't usually introduce very, very powerful characters. It's like, for instance, sending Piccolo out, and then Piccolo finding out that he can't do it, so he calls up Goku, right? Or like he calls up Vegeta, and then Goku's one step higher. So that's pretty much how it felt. Like they're calling in the big guns, and for some reason, the big guns is one of the guys we've already met and a girl we haven't met. And they just been sitting chilling instead of being sent out and hunting, mainly probably because of a situation like this where all of a sudden um, a number could pop up and then boom bam, you have your strongest people on standby. So now you don't even gotta wait for you ain't even gotta worry about what they're doing. They're literally always ready to fight a true threat instead of going around even just handling weaker threats that could be easily uh, taken care of over time or something along those lines. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case might be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely have one more show I want to talk about for sure today. Not sure if that's going to be the last show I talk about today because unfortunately it looks like there's not much that happens on this day for anime wise, so I might just drop another video and call it on that note. So if I do, I hope you guys have an awesome one, and I definitely will be keeping my eyes out for any new animes dropping, or the simple fact that there's going to be a lot of games dropping too. Like we're getting a lot of trailers and stuff for games, so hopefully a new game drops, and yeah, I will be talking about the other Fate show soon. So that being said, I hope you watch it or just enjoy yourself, and thank you for watching this in the first place. So that being said, peace.